Wizard of Wood here, and I'm at a log cabin. And the reason I'm at this log cabin to do test area, test spot, which we're doing here on the logs, on some logs that have some growth on it and some stain, is for a couple of reasons. One is the customer kind of wants to see what can happen if we need to remove all of the stain that's on there currently with a bunch of new logs that are put on. You can see all the current stain. They had some leaks from upstairs and they had to have new logs put in, as you can see here, and there's a transition. So we have the old stuff and the new stuff. The product was weatherall. Whether or not it has to come off, and that would be one price, or whether or not it could be just done with one. We have another sample in the new wood down here. Whether or not that can be just maintained, like in other words, just a clean and a one coat application on the old stuff, and then do the new stuff. It's really not in bad shape, as you can see. It's pretty good. Sun's got glare on it. It's a lighter tint that they have called sunlight, but there is some growth and stuff, especially in the lower areas. So what happens is there's a local painting company near us that everybody thinks is the greatest, but they obviously don't know wood very well, and they've had issues in the past with this kind of these kind of projects when you get to exotic woods and cabins. But they came out with a price on this, 4,000 square feet on the outside. You can see it's a big cabin. And they were going to restain this. There's also some stuff, other stuff to do, but for about $8,000. So I come in with a price of $24,000, which includes some log repair and chinking. And there's a big, vast difference between what was said, done, and first of all, the price triggered the customer, and then some of the verbiage that they used, they didn't know what wet on wet application kind of thing was, and some other stuff, whoever was out here. And this happens a lot. There's a lot of mis or disinformation. A lot of times it comes from painters. There's some painters that do know wood and are really good at it, and there's others that they just kind of want to paint over things and so forth. But this is something you just can't clean and recoat, because if you have a sealer that's already there, and weatherall could be a two-part system, and this is, because it has a clear on. If you don't break that barrier, you can't just go over unless you're going to paint over it. But even at that, you're putting a good coat on a bad coat, and that can't happen. So we're kind of trying to go through the disinformation that the customer has, or has gotten, so we can do this. I'm going to also flip this around so you can kind of see better as I'm talking about it. Again, it's not bad. It's pretty good shape up here, but it's the lower stuff. Got some green going on. Reapply there. Like I said, logs are good. And then over here, we're going to do the new logs so they can just see what the new log would look like, and then what it would look like if we try to blend it. So that's the other thing. If we're going to do it this way, how would we blend it? So what we normally would do is we would take the next color up. For weatherall, it would be honey. And then you'd use a little bit of the honey into the sunlight to tint it, to give it a little bit to kind of even it up. And that's what you do. So that's kind of what we're doing today here, is we're going to go through that whole process for the customer so that they kind of have a better idea, see how logs should be done. You know, talking about staining from the bottom up instead of from the top down, like was referenced to them. There have been other contractors out here too talking about bleach and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, you don't want to put bleach on that new wood. So there's a lot of stuff. But this is what a test spot does. It gives them a visual that they can look at. They'll feel better about it. You kind of take the guesswork out of it. If you're a contractor, you kind of know what you're getting into and all the stuff that has to get done. And then that's kind of what we're doing here. So believe it or not, there's a lady dancing in the street over here. It's kind of funny. But anyway, this is the kind of stuff I guess that happens on a live video. Nobody around either. Anyway, I don't want to put the camera over and be obvious. Anyway, we're going to get to this, and hopefully this is a job that we'll have coming up in the future, and you'll be able to see that. Thank you. Everyone have a good day. Thanks for watching.